Kansas Moonshot Podcast, where we are shining the spotlight on amazing things happening in schools across the state. Whether you're one of the Gemini, Mercury, or in the near future Apollo schools launching some amazing redesign plans, or a teacher trying to do something a little different, I want to share your story. The goal is to celebrate the awesomeness all around us. This week's episode features an interview with some teachers from Westview Elementary in Olathe. Christie Thomason, art teacher, Colleen Redelsheimer, second grade teacher, and Tanya Mathieu, first grade teacher, talk about their school's Learner Showcase, which allows students to share their learning through project-based learning units. Check it out. I am here with Westview Elementary School, and we're here to talk about your Learner Showcase because I heard it's amazing. So if you could start by just introducing yourselves.
My name's Christie Thomason, and I'm the visual art teacher here at Westview Elementary.
I'm Colleen Redelsheimer, and I'm part of the 2-3 team.
And I'm Tanya Mathieu, and I teach on the K1 team.
Excellent. So this Learner Showcase, I thought it'd be a great opportunity for other schools to hear about what you've been doing with it, because I think it's definitely something that other schools could pick up and really showcase what their learners are doing. So if you could start off just telling what is the Learner Showcase all about?
So our students start working on project-based learning and they have to answer a driving question. And it's not enough that they do their research and they create a project or they work through it. They have to have some sort of culmination of that research. And so we have some sort of event night where they're able to speak to the public and educate the public and the community. And we bring them into our building and they're able to listen to the students do their presentations or see their projects.
And so the one that you just recently had, was that your first one or second one for this year?
It was our first one for this year. It was our second one. We did one last spring.
Perfect. And so is the plan to do one each semester?
That's the plan right now.
Okay. Excellent. And how do you guys determine what each, is it by grade level deciding what you're going to be working on, or how do you guys determine what you're going to be working on or what the kids are going to be working on?
Well, that has kind of evolved. Okay. Last year, when we started and we did our first Learner Showcase, it was per grade level. Mm-hmm. This year, we have our grade levels paired up, and K1 is working together, 2-3 is working together, and 4-5 is working together. And so those teams made the decision how their Learner Showcase project would look, and so those grade levels are paired and working together this year.
And our specialists for our first Learner Showcase were paired with a grade grouping, and they put their special T within the PBL as well.
Excellent. And as they're working through these projects, what is the ultimate goal? What are some of the skills that you're really hoping the kids get out of this Learner Showcase?
Well, we kind of start with the standards.
Mm-hmm.
So we take a look at the standards, which is our curriculum here in Olathe, and then we take from that a driving question, maybe something that they want to solve. And our students have voice and choice here. That's part of the process. And then from there, we look at it and we say, okay, so we want to maybe solve this problem. And then we kind of start with the end in mind and we work backwards from there. And then we know that we want to have a hands-on, a community involvement. There's all sorts of features that go with that product, that end product. And we know that we have a Learner Showcase, but that's not the end product in mind. The learning is the product that we have in mind.
With our K1 team, we've had to take it back just a little bit further because our littles don't always understand how to create a driving question. So we have, in reflection, done some more mini lessons in amongst our exploration, and we kind of come up with, how to help the kids explore and how to help the little kids start to wonder about the world.
Excellent. And as they're working on this, I noticed there were a couple of different presentation types. So what were the presentation types in this last go-around of the Learner Showcase?
Well, our K1 kids, they haven't been exposed to all of the different types of options out there. So amongst the next year or 2 years in this program, we hope to introduce different ways of presenting information over that for those kids so that when they go up to the older level groups, they can start having that voice and choice and choose how they want to present. So for this first experiment, they had to create an invention and they did an oral presentation. Okay. And in amongst that, they learned how to make a video presentation as well. So in the next PBL, they'll have 3 different options for what they'd like to do for their choice.
And what were some of the biggest successes, would you say, out of this Learner Showcase this year? Anything really stand out? I know.
There's a lot.
There was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot. When I look at like the student level, when we talked about like the self-reflection piece, they went pretty deep as far as working as a team. That cooperation is really big. One of the statements was, I may like working with my best friend, but they may be not the best thing for me. That piece of, how you work well together and how they learned in groups. That's a big part of the PBL is working in groups, because we know that when we are turning our students out into the workforce, that's how we work, is in groups. So that's a big part of the PBL. They don't do individual projects. They're done in a group setting.
I think one of the biggest takeaways that I got to witness was just the engagement within the community members, parents that came in. They didn't just stay with their kids' groups. They went and visited, the K1 kids, and they got to engage with what they were presenting, their light and sound machines, and then we had arcade games in 2-3, and the community was all engaged in that. And then 4-5 did a wax museum where they came alive as a specific person, and so it was really neat to just see everybody kind of be engaged in this giant showcase we presented.
I'm sure. Go ahead.
I just was going to say the big takeaway for our little kids was failure, and learning to celebrate it and embrace it and use it as a way to work forward, because they had to be engineers, and so we had to teach them what that looks like and how to design things. And 99.9% of their inventions didn't work successfully, and we had to work through that and celebrate that that's a part of the engineering design process, and that we fail and move forward. So the kids really learn now. I did that wrong. Isn't that wonderful? My brain learned something new.
Yeah. So speaking of things not always going wrong for the students, not always going right with the students, what are some things that, looking forward, what are some things that you might want to tweak or change moving forward?
For us, it was slowing down.
Okay.
We just want to go. And our students want to slow down and explore. And so I think looking back, we always have, this day we're going to do this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And maybe it needs to be a few days of a certain thing before moving on, and letting the students really guide the process.
Yeah, for us, it was more direct instruction. It's really hard to stop that exploration. And a lot of the times they need a little bit more direct instruction to go with it.
Excellent. So what suggestions would you have? So if I'm a school and I hear this idea and I think it's amazing and I want to launch it at my school, what are some suggestions you have starting out? Where would be a good place to start? Would you say start with a small one? Would you say start with one grade level? Do you think school-wide launching, diving in? Where would you start?
I think that anybody can kind of do a mini PBL, no matter what expertise they're coming from or grade level within their own classroom. I don't think it necessarily has to be school-wide to start off with. I know there's a few teachers in our district that aren't at the redesign schools that are doing PBL within their classrooms, and they're having great success. So I would say research and try it out.
Research is key. Understanding the difference between a project and project-based learning is going to be crucial. And I'm a jump all in head first kind of gal. So I say go big or go home, and just then learn from it, then reflect on it, and give yourself the time to do that. You don't know if you don't try.
Excellent. So if people want to reach out, what is the Twitter? I know you guys have a Twitter handle. Is it at Westview?
Westview
ELEM.
Excellent. Do you guys have anything else, any other last minute words of wisdom as far as redesign goes? Anything else you want people to really know? For my tens and tens of followers right now that are listening. but soon, I mean 5 years from now, when millions of people are listening to this podcast, what are some things you would like to leave them with?
It's hard.
I know. No pressure.
It's hard.
Okay.
It's really hard, and it's so worth it.
Right.
I think teachers like things to be nice and neat and 90-degree angle. This is messy, and it's okay. It's okay to be messy.
Go ahead.
I think one of the biggest benefits from an outside classroom teacher perspective is just the collaboration that we've been able to kind of put in our focus on, something they're doing straight in the classroom, or kind of seeing how teachers work together and just getting that more collaborative. It's not necessarily as cut and dry.
All right. Well, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thanks for asking us.
Yeah. So that is it. That is the end of the show.
Awesome.
That's it for this episode. For more information about this episode, check out my website, mrstockrocks.com. If you know someone doing something awesome in their classroom, let me know about it. I'd love to have them on the show. You can email me at teachlikeaninja@gmail.com or follow me on Twitter at teachlikeaninja. I've been your host, Josh Stock, 6th grade language arts teacher and self-proclaimed awesomeness expert. Until next time, book it forward and be awesome.